should have had them kill bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Ayo, Jay. Ayo, Jay.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. And Bitcoin is getting a little bit of a bounce right now. I want to talk about the legitimacy of this bounce. Is it a real bounce? Are we going to be able to get above that key level? Because if you guys were watching the live stream yesterday, the charts were not looking too good. However, we did have a little bit of a bullish divergence on the 4-hour, but money flow was actually pointing in the opposite direction, potentially anticipating this little bounce to the upside, but we are not out of the water just yet, guys. I know there's a lot of people out there. It's like, how is money flow bearish and now we're bouncing today? You have to have a little bit of a longer-term view on things, as this bounce would be considered, in my opinion, If money flow continues to come out, we would actually expect a lackluster bounce to put in a lower high before getting another move to the downside. Now, are we actually going to see that, or are we going to be able to see a fake out on money flow, the other situation we were looking at yesterday, to get that bigger move to the upside? So in today's I almost said market update. In today's live stream, guys, I want to cover the possibility of getting that big move up or that big move down, and we'll try to put a percentage, on what is more likely. But just a heads up, guys, I am going to have to hop out of here pretty quickly. Luckily, not too much has happened since yesterday. I was talking to Tony D when we were making the thumbnail. I was like, we saw the 4-hour bull div yesterday. We're getting the bounce. There's not too much to talk about other than us seeing what we've been looking at yesterday. So it's going to be a little bit of a quicker live stream. And what better day than today? So anyway, with all that being said, shout out to Golden for absolutely being the absolute GOAT of this YouTube channel. Shout out to you, brother. Give them those 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Put those golden emojis in the chat if you just got a free membership. Shout out to Golden, bro. We appreciate you endlessly. And I already saw that golden waterfall going. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. Shout out to Pennywise. What is going on? We got Golden in the chat. Golden said quick live stream, lol. Shout out to Golden. We got Shelby in the chat. What is going on? We got V Ranger. We got Digital X. We got Jack in the chat. What is going on, bro? We got... where are we at? We got Pokemon in the chat. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. We got Crypto Chef. We got Dan. We got Gaztop. We got Coin Hoover. And last but not least, certainly not least, guys, we got Lunar Beaches Crypto in the chat, and we got French Toaster. And with all that being said, shout out to Wayne C. Let's go ahead and let's see. Shout out to Mike Vito, says only way you're getting out early is if Mrs. Candles pulls you by the neck like with a cane, like they used to do on stage. Shout out to you, brother, and shout out to Mrs. Candles. And one more quick notification here before we go into the charts. Shout out to Retro Mike, said, but Frankie, how can we have so much money flow when tomorrow we'll only have half the Bitcoin? Hang on a second. Mike, shout out to Retro Mike. You might be onto something there. Shout out to Retro Mike. Well, we're going to break down the charts for you right now, bro. We will definitely be taking a look at that money flow. So let's go ahead and without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the charts. Let's get into it. Hit the wrong button there. But let's go ahead and continue on. All right, so here we are, guys. Now, simply put, obviously, if you guys have been keeping up with the live streams recently, you will know this is kind of our major range, our major upper range, I guess we could call it now. And if you guys have been watching, you will know our key level of resistance is still sitting right here at $64,531. And this is why I say, I know it's funny. I know a lot of people, they see this as like, oh my God, we're bouncing, oh my God. And it's, in the grand scheme of things, nothing really too crazy has happened here. Really for me, guys, like I said, right, like since yesterday, obviously we did get that 4-hour bullish divergence, right, or continued bullish divergence, I should say, with our lower lows on price action and our higher lows on our momentum waves, making us look for a potential move to the upside, right? So, in the short term, this would indicate a potential bounce incoming, but look at your money flow, right? This is, money flow is directly fighting against you here. Now, typically, when you have money flow coming up with these confirmed bullish divergences, it does mark a strong bottom in the market more often than it doesn't. And this is typically where we anticipate a move back above that value area low, up to your POC, and then back up to your value area high. And simply put, I will say this. This is not impossible. This is why I've been saying, I am putting a little bit more weight on the key levels and the actual price action rather than the indicators because, we're in a weird spot right now. And this has kind of been the vibe of the live streams all week is market cipher looks bearish, right? The TA does not look amazing right now. However, we have to understand that where we are in the cycle, we are likely to see a ton of volatility come into the market. We have the halving coming up. We talk about the geopolitical tensions are rising. We have a lot of volatility likely incoming. It's an election year, right? We typically see a lot of volatility around this. And for that reason, we have to understand that it is going to be more likely than, it is not more likely than not, but it's more likely at this point in the cycle to see potential fake outs on money flow, and which would make us potentially, if we are going to see that big move to the upside, guys, and we are going to come back into this range and get back up to the value area high and potentially see new all-time highs, this is going to have to be a fake out on money flow, and it all might just rely on this one simple signal. And for me, what I'm going to be looking at, guys, and again, here's the general sentiment. Money flow is bearish, indicating a continued downtrend. The same as yesterday, right? It's, this does not change my sentiment just yet. It doesn't mean that we can't get a pump, but this is not just like, oh my God, we're bouncing. That's it. We're not going to dump anymore. We're not out of the weeds just yet, but I will say there are some things that are looking a lot better than they were looking yesterday. And it is a very, very difficult time to trade the market right now, just because of how unclear things are. But with that being said, you have to understand your higher time frame money flow, right? This is not, going to play out in a day or 2 days, right? This is probably going to take a week or so to play out if you're going to see it happen. But your daily money flow is coming to the downside. Your 16 and your 12-hour money flow are kind of starting to come up here just a little bit. This is originally what we were looking at as we were ranging out up here. This is what we were looking at to potentially look for this little downtrend to the downside, right? And if this money flow continues to come out, it could indicate a bigger move to the downside, right? And looking at the daily money flow, once that crosses over into the red, that might be the real signal for the big move down, right? If we get it. But, binarily, this money flow on the daily is bearish, right? This is simply bearish money flow. You're starting to curve up here just a little bit, which again, if we're going to see another one of these fake outs on money flow, which, at this point in the market is not unlikely, it's likely, in my opinion, going to happen on this next green dot on the daily. And like I said, right, as we see the money flow being bearish, coming to the downside, all week I've been talking about I am only holding my long positions, right? So it's not like, it's not just like, oh, I'm bearish, that's it, we're only going down, right? I say that as I'm holding longs from lower. So keep that in mind, right? But for the most part, things remain somewhat the same on the higher time frames. Daily money flow coming out, but if this green dot brings us back into a bigger green wave, we may wind up seeing a fake out. But just binarily, as of right now, money flow technically is trending to the downside. But for me, the best chance, if any, if we're going to get back above this value area low and get a big move back up to the value area high and beyond, if we're going to get that fake out, likely this daily green dot is going to be the thing to look at, right? So once that VWAP crosses over the 0 line, we get this green dot on the daily. That is likely where you're going to get the next significant move to the upside. So key levels of resistance remain exactly the same, guys, right? Again, 4-hour bull dip expected this bounce, but because of money flow coming out, we have to anticipate that this may, remember, money flow indicates a longer-term trend. So if we are going to see, although we did see a bounce here, we have to potentially anticipate this to be a lower high before continuing a bigger move to the downside, especially with your daily money flow looking the way it looks. Now, I have to be clear, right? This doesn't mean we're 100% going to dump. This is not how the markets work. This is not how trading works. This is not how technical analysis works. We have to be open to both scenarios happening. We're traders. We can make money whether price goes up or down. So we have to look at the bullish case and we have to look at the bearish case. And for me, like we've been saying all week, the bullish case here would be money flow yeets back to the upside, comes into the green, and more specifically, we would have to see a flip of this key level at $64,554. Decisively close this, decisively close higher time frame, medium time frame candles, 4-hour candles. The higher the time frame, the better. But 4-hour candles, if we get closes above this level and we hold it as support, that's where we can look for the bigger move to the upside. And that is the bullish case. The green dot is going to be the signal I'm looking at for a potential move, right? But with that being said, we are approaching some key resistance, right? Which is, again, that level here at $64,500. Now, if we start pulling some of our Fibonacci retracements. Why couldn't I not think of that word? If you pull your Fibonacci retracement from this high all the way down to the low, you can see you do have a little bit of confluence here on your golden pocket POC. Let me go ahead and change this to bada boom for resistance. So right here, right? Now, here's the thing. We could potentially, remember what happens here, guys. We are very, very... This is a sketchy part of the market. Like I said, I typically take multiple trades definitely a week, usually multiple trades a day. I have been sitting on my hands and holding my longer-term trades right now because the signals are not very clear. We have money flow coming out. We have money flow coming up on other time frames. Just everything is all over the place, and that's why I'm focusing on the key levels. So if we do wind up getting a move up, the next key level of resistance, if we flip that value area low, I would be very, very, very cautious around this golden pocket because of the confluence with the POC. And sometimes, and here's the thing, if we see the daily money flow crossover into the red, and we see the 16 and the 12-hour money flow continue down, what are we likely to see? Simply put, in my opinion, what we would be likely to see is a potential move back into this range. And we oftentimes see this, guys, where you start to break out of a volume profile, and you will come back up into the profile, right? And you will come up and test that POC before getting the bigger move down. And to be honest, I'm surprised this was not that tap, right? I'm surprised we didn't lose it here, hit that POC, and then absolutely dump to the downside. But we have to be aware of that potentially happening on the way back up. Obviously, the 786 of that Fibonacci pull will be important to watch as well. And in my opinion, you know, once we wind up because of the specific situation here with the money flow being bearish, I am being extra cautious on the way up, right? So we flip this level to support. We would be very cautious around the POC. And then in my opinion, you know, that 786 is really the key level if we're going to hit that value area high. Typically, it's the POC, right? Once you get above the POC, you look up to the value area high. But because we're in this specific situation where we have that 786 sitting right here, you know, this would be a very key level to flip as into support as well, because we have to understand that if we are going to put in a macro lower high and continue the downtrend, where is it likely to come in, guys? It's likely to come in, I mean, really in this zone between the golden pocket and that 786 Fibonacci retracement level. So again, the reason I have the purple box on this zone right here is simply because of the confluence, right? You have the POC and the golden pocket. So there you go, right? And that's if money flow winds up continuing bearishly, right? This green dot prints, we get a little bit of a bigger push up. Everybody thinks we're going to $1 million, and we could potentially see the lower high come in here or even on that 786 Fibonacci retracement level. So, and then, you know, if that were the case, then your money flow would likely turn into the red, and then we'll be like, okay, look at that. We wound up coming into the red, and we got that move to the downside. Because remember, when your money flow comes out, if you're getting a green dot, sure, you could get that move to the upside, but you have to understand the context of the grander time frames, right? Or the longer term outlook, which would be money flow coming out, indicating the longer term trend is likely to continue down, but that green dot is likely to give you a push to the upside. This is where retail gets faked out, right? This is where people say, you know, what happened? I thought we were bearish and now we're going up, right? This is too short of a time. You have to look beyond your nose, right? So again, that green dot prints. This does not necessarily mean, oh my God, we're going to $1 million, right? As if money flow continues out, right? Because if money flow continues out, that lower high is likely to come in right here. And that is what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. So for the most part, guys, key level number one, $64,554. Key level number two is going to be this zone right here, golden pocket POC between 67,373 and 66,675. And then obviously you want to keep in mind you have your 786 here. And then once you get above that 786, you're just playing the volume profile. Very simply put. Now, if we go ahead and pull up the liquidation heat maps here, I do want to take a look and take a look at where this liquidity is sitting, right? So we're taking a look at the 1 month time frame here. And let's go ahead and check it out. So simply put, we have this pocket of liquidity sitting up here, obviously at about $73,000. This is kind of the, major, but let's zoom out to the 3 month real quick. Bada boom, right? And we'll zoom in like that. Right here, right? So this is the $73,000 level we were just looking at, but obviously we have a lot of liquidity sitting above that previous all-time high, and we also have a ton of liquidity down below. So this heat map, guys, is, to be honest, not as helpful as it typically is, because when you have a giant pocket of liquidity like this down here, in my own honest opinion, guys, oftentimes to predict what price is going to do next, I like to think, I was actually just talking about this, I like to think this, right? What would wreck the most people? And to be quite honest with you, in my opinion, I think what would wreck the most people right now would be, because everybody's all super bullish now today, right? So I think I think the thing that would wreck the most people, simply put, would be a flush to the downside and then a push to the upside and then a final flush for a big move down, right? And I simply think that would be the thing to wreck the most people. And I mean, just looking at this liquidation heat map, I mean, this liquidity is pretty thick from 59.6 all the way down to about 50K, right? So this, if we wind up getting a leverage flush, this is likely going to happen very quickly, right? And this is what we look at almost every day on the live stream. Not only would it cause a big move down because those liquidations are taking place, but if we take a look, if we take a look at the VPVR, obviously we would be expecting a quick move down through this low volume gap, right? And where does that low volume gap end? Right at about 51, 52K. So I do think if we get another move down, it's likely that it will be a very aggressive leverage flush down to this high volume node, right? And the question is if we do get that, is the rejection going to come at that value area low, our key level, or is it going to come in at that Fibonacci retracement level, which is, in my opinion, the second most likely place, or just a very likely place for that lower high to come in? So again, money flow would honestly, if we're just looking at money flow, we're just looking at market cipher, guys, it is much more likely, in my opinion, to get a quick move down through this low volume gap and definitely take out a lot of that leverage, right? And this is just looking at market cipher. But again, trading and technical analysis is simply not that simple, right? Because again, when you do the higher term analysis, when you've been in crypto for quite a while, you've been through a few different cycles, you understand the likelihood of getting fake outs on money flow, right? And people always say, Frankie, how do you know when money flow is going to fake out? And I always say, I think it's a mixture of things, right? It's a mixture of just being in crypto and understanding the cycles over time, and also just looking at market cipher for the amount of time that I have been looking, right? I've been looking at market cipher for years, right? So I have an understanding of like when it's likely to fake out. And simply put, last time we had big fake outs on money flow on the daily was all the way back here. And what part of the market was this? This was literally started getting the fake outs right near the halving and then into the parabolic bull run. You could see we barely spend any time in the red on the daily. And we are simply in another situation like that, guys. And I hate times like this in the market because I love to come up here and just be like very, very deterministic on where I think things are going to go. And we're just not in an area in the market where it's like very confident on where things are going for many different things, right? So right? That's why I always say trading is an if this, then that statement. It's not, we're definitely going up, we're definitely going down. These are the people who lose money, right? It is an if this, then that statement. Simply put, that's just the fact of the matter. It's not an opinion, right? So, because nobody knows where this is going 100%. Nobody. And I warn, if you have someone that you're talking to that says that they know where price is going to go, run for the hills. Run for your life. Please, for the love of God, they will lead you to an empty bank account. I promise you. Now, and the reason I know that, guys, is because I went through all that, right? I went through thinking it was all about figuring out exactly knowing 100% where price is going to go, right? And when I had that mentality, I lost money, and I lost money, and I got liquidated, and I blew up account, and I blew up accounts, and I blew up accounts, and I blew up accounts. And it wasn't until I finally took more of an agnostic view of the market and finally admitted to myself that nobody knows where this thing is going to go, right? And once you understand that and you start looking at the charts and you pay attention to the analysis, this is when you realize like, oh, okay, so no one really no one knows where it's going to go. TA just gives you it's like an educated guess, right? So with that being said, in my experience, I've gone through all of this where you have the fake outs on money flow constantly, and we are in a very similar situation here. So that is really, to be honest with you, the only reason that I even have a bullish scenario in my head, or the only reason that I'm really looking at a bullish scenario potentially playing out here, guys, is simply because I've been through these markets before and I've seen money flow fake out. If I didn't have that longer term view, if I didn't have the experience of going through other bull markets and bear markets, I would be looking at money flow and 100% be bearish right now. And it's the same thing that we thought back here. And people are like, I don't understand, Frankie. Like, money flow's coming out, but you're saying that it could go up. Like, what's going on? And that wound up playing out, right? So we could be potentially in another situation like that. But for sure, money flow is bearish. We have gaps down below. Bitcoin is still dancing with danger, in my opinion. And I'll be honest, it's almost like every time I think that there is an unlikely thing, anytime I think like, hey, this sounds a little crazy, I know I'm saying this, guys, but it sounds kind of crazy, usually it plays out. Now, I'm not saying this is definitely going to play out because I think it's a little bit crazy, but you have to understand this, right? Like, the charts are bearish. Market cipher bearish. But yeah, we've been faked out before, and I think we are in a high likelihood place to and that makes my sentiment, guys, pretty neutral right now, right? I think one of the best things you can do is take a step back and just say, like, I don't know what's going to happen. And when I'm uncertain, guys, I don't take as many trades. And I am simply not taking as many trades right now. And that's for the sole fact that it's just unclear. And I'm kind of neutral. But I am holding my longs from lower, kind of betting on the idea of, like, hey, if we are somewhere like this in the market, right, we're somewhere in this area, chances are we're probably going to come up. So, the longs that I'm holding from much lower, I am continuing to hold them, right? I'm in a long from down here. I'm also in a long from somewhere in this consolidation as well. So I am holding the longs from lower, but it's an if this, then that statement. So, I am looking for shorts on the way up here. Again, we just talked about those key levels of resistance. If we don't get that, I will simply be holding my longs. So if we break out, right, and we push up here and we break all-time highs, I'm happy. I have swing longs from much, much lower that are going to pay me out more. And if we come down, I will be searching for those shorts at these key levels. Simply put, that's my sentiment. So, shout out to Creighton C. Let's go. Shout out to Creighton C for the super chat. Says, at Kelly, snitches get stitches. Some of us are insecure and need a fourth boat. I'm going to call her midlife crisis and I'm going to call her midlife crisis and use her to attract women half my age to play Twister with. Don't ruin this for me. Yo, it's really cool that people can like the super chats now. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for that super chat, bro. I guess I missed it. Oh, there we go. Shout out to Kelly Kellum. What is going on, bro? Thank you for the super chat. He said, if you sell or short here, you are just donating to the rich guy's third boat. So ask yourself, want to contribute to other peeps' track fund or your own profits? Patience, mofo. Woo, baby. I almost said the real thing. Patience, mofo. Patience. Shout out to Kelly. So I guess, Kelly, I think I guess you assume that we are going to snap back to the upside, which I'll be honest with you, would be my I would favor that, right? Not expect that to happen more, but I would rather get a push to the upside than a big nuke at this point, just because I'm more loaded on longs. To be quite honest with you guys, I could be potentially a little bit too high risk on the longs right now. I am only holding long positions. I have no hedge shorts open right now, and that could be dangerous, right? So, yeah, I hope it does go up. But if it doesn't, simply put, we would really have to come down for me to get not even stopped out. Like, even to come, if we got back down to 40K, I'd be at break even, right? But my stop loss is in profit, so I'd get stopped out in profit before that. But, yeah, with that being said, guys, if we are going to get a move to the upside, simply put, the volume profile, like, if the move is going to come up, I would just play this as a volume profile. Look for a flip at the value area low. Obviously, be cautious in this zone. But once you get above that 786, like, it's just a regular range trade. So, with that being said, guys, that is what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Basically the same thing, right, as yesterday. Well, we just got the div and we got the bounce. The question is it going to be a higher low and a dump to the downside, or are we going to get the bigger move up? And to be quite honest with you guys, like I said, I'm just kind of sitting on my hands right now. So, let's see, bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Let's see. Yo, what up, Frankie? Shout out to American Crypto Monster. What is going on, brother? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm chilling, brother. I'm chilling. Dump it, cousin Satoshi. Shout out to Bad Axe. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mean that, guys. When I did the little Frankie fake out and I was talking to my cousin Satoshi on the phone, and I said, dump it over the weekend. I didn't know he was actually going to do it. So, yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. How long have we been going for? Sometimes I lose track. Oh, 27 minutes. So what I'll do here, guys, let's go ahead and I'll take a quick shout out to Golden. Said I missed a super chat. Hold up. Thank you for that, Golden. Oh, and it's a super chat from Golden. If there's a super chat not to miss, it's Golden's. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. He said, smash that like button, Mafia. It costs you nothing, but it helps a lot. Shout out to Golden. He's 100% correct. It's the easiest and most free way to get our content pushed out to other people to grow the CandleMafia into an unstoppable force. But yeah, like I said, I do have to jump out of here early today, guys, but I will take a quick look at Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. And let's go ahead. And same thing, right? Like, just not much going on here. It's basically the same thing as yesterday. What was yesterday? The 16th or the 17th? So, yeah, yesterday was the 17th at about 5 p.m. We're basically just in the same scenario, right? But what do we have here? We have confirmed bullish divergences at a weekly naked point of control, right? Your lower lows on price action, higher lows on your momentum waves. I literally changed these settings. Bear with me. I literally changed these settings not too long ago. And I saved them. I don't know why they didn't save. Navigation, always invisible. Bada boom. Now those buttons are gone. But you see, we have the 4-hour bullish divergence into the weekly naked point of control. If we're able to stay above this level, guys, very similar to Bitcoin, just looking at the volume profile, we got to get above this value area low, sitting at $3,200 in order to get the bigger move to the upside, potentially targeting the golden pocket 786, which is also the POC of the range. So this is going to be a key level that I would be watching right here. And then obviously the golden pocket is important as well. The reason I have the purple box on the 786 is simply because it's also in line with the weekly naked point of control, which I don't believe is naked anymore. I believe this is an old level. But it's also in line with the POC of the range. And that's why I'm putting more weight on the 786 rather than the golden pocket. So with that being said, I mean, very similar to Bitcoin, looking for that bullish divergence. It is confirmed, but is this going to signal a significant bottom? Again, guys, the indicators, at least money flow right now, is very mixed. So, with that, we have to be cautious, right? 16-hour money flow is coming back up on Ethereum. This looks better than Bitcoin, but again, the daily's not looking good. We are praying. Here's the easy answer. If money flow fakes out to the upside, we need that fake out on money flow. Other than that, this is binarily bearish. So there you go. We have to get the fake out on money flow in order to see a big move up here. And you might say, well, Frankie, how likely is that? In my opinion, it's actually pretty likely because of where we are in the market right now. I hate points like this. I hate areas of the market like this where it's just like very unclear. And as a trader, it's like, usually we feel like we're cheating, right? Because we're long, we're short, we're long and short at the same time. And then like sometimes like this, it's just like, I don't know where this thing's going to go. And that's where I let the dust settle. But binarily, daily money flow is bearish. If we get the fake out on money flow, just looking to play this volume profile from the value area low to the POC to the value area high. Very, very, very simply put. Also, one more thing I want to take a look at on Bitcoin is also going to be here. 4-hour money flow is in the red. VWAP rolling over. This looks bearish. But then come on over to your 90-minute. Your 90 minutes all chopped up. Come over to your 1 hour. Your 1 hour money flow just crossed over into the green. Your 2-hour money flows up just now crossing over into the green. So it's like things are mixed up right now, guys. It's like a horrible market to trade right now, if I'm being quite honest with you guys. The key is, do you have the emotional discipline to sit out of the trades and not get chopped up? I said this yesterday. This is a very common area where new traders or inexperienced traders or traders who have been trading for 6 months and think they're experienced but don't understand that they're not experienced. This is where a lot of people will chop up all the profits that they've made trading this range. At least, if you are trading the ranges. Like we've been crushing these ranges, long in the lows, shorting the highs, long in the lows, shorting the highs, long in the lows, shorting the highs. But this is oftentimes, right? Like you don't want to make a ton of profit on these predictable high probability trades and then lose your profit that you just made and worked so hard to make and lose it all in an unpredictable market, right? Because if you're looking at the 2-hour here, it's like, all right, well, I mean, hey, like you got bullish divergences, lower lows, higher lows, money flows crossing over into the green, right? So if you're looking at the 2-hour chart, this is looks like a no-brainer long back into the volume profile and back to the high. But then when you take a look at the higher time frames, like it doesn't look as good, right? Like the 4-hour looks pretty bearish. So again, like I'm just here to bring the facts. I'm just here to look at the charts and explain what they're saying. And right now, they're speaking a completely different language. It's like it's saying we're gonna go backwards, not left, not right, but just like in 3D space, we're going backwards. Very, very unpredictable. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Todd, says, is there any data on how long a deviation from the range usually lasts before being accepted back into a range? Is the longer it's deviated from the range more likely to move into a... Hey, shout out to Todd. Bro, that is an amazing question. Shout out to Todd. And the answer to that is I don't know if there's any data on that. I haven't collected any data on how long you deviate from the range. But in my experience, like it has less to do with how much time you spend under there and more to do with the confirmations. And I mean, this is the bullish divergence here on the 4-hour, right? This is why we were expecting a little bounce to the upside yesterday. But remember, a lackluster bounce to put in a lower high is much more likely based off money flow, unless you're looking at the 2-hour, because this looks bullish. So again, just be careful out there, guys. Like I said, like I'm holding my longs from lower. I'm not jumping into anything like prematurely. So just be careful out there. Like if you're not typically a trader, I would say like just chill out. Like let the charts do their thing. Because, yeah, like with that daily money flow, like if we're going to break down out of this range, bing, bong, bing, bong, bing, bong, right? Money flow comes out. This would make it technically more likely to break out of the bottom. But again, where we are in the cycle, fake outs are very, very likely. So I'm neutral, guys. I'm neutral. Could pump, could dump. Dip and rip someday. Shout out to American Crypto Monster. Let's see. Bada boom. Shout out to Crypto Gorilla. Says hello from India. Says it's 3:50 a.m. in India, and I'm watching your show. Shout out to Crypto Gorilla. Big shout out to you, bro. Tuning in all the way from India early in the morning. I absolutely love it, and I appreciate it endlessly. Thank you for staying up late and hanging out with us here on Frankie Candles After Dark. Anyway, but let's go ahead and take a quick look at Ethereum again before we go ahead and hop out of here. I'm sorry, guys. We're not going to have time for the altcoins tonight, but we'll cover them tomorrow. Don't you worry. Hopefully, we'll get either a big move up or a big dump by tomorrow, so we'll have some more stuff to talk about. So, simply put, on Ethereum, same thing. Daily money flow is pretty bearish. Let's check some of these higher time frames. 6-day VWAP pretty far below the zero line. 2-day VWAP coming back up. Yeah. I mean, this is partially why I'm holding my longs from lower, right? Like these higher time frames, 2-day green dot about to print. If we do get a push up, I do think there's more upside to be had here. It's just, are we going to break the all-time highs? Money flow would say no. But I'll just give you the key levels, right? Because the key levels are always going to be helpful. Whether you think it's likely to pump or likely to dump, the key levels are 100% always going to help you. And for me, your key level on Ethereum, weekly naked point of control at 29.46. If you lose that, very likely you get a move down to 26.26 to your next weekly naked point of control, in my own personal opinion. Let me go ahead and make this a little bit smaller of a level. And then your key levels of resistance, your most important level of resistance, in my opinion, locally, is going to be the value area low at $3,200 because this is the level you need to flip to support in order to get a move up to your POC and then hopefully eventually your value area high. So there you go. But other than that, guys, I am letting things settle and just waiting for clearer signals because things are just completely chopped up right now. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. How can you tell when a dot is about to print? Shout out to Fitness First Mindset. Shout out to you, brother. I'll answer your question if you answer my question about trying to make fitness, having a fitness first mindset. Can you give me a tip on how to have a fitness first mindset? Shout out to you, bro. But no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's take a look here. The way that you would be able to see if a green dot or red dot is likely, for me, what I like to look at, I'm pretty sure, right? Like, I'm not a coder. I did not make this indicator. Shout out to CryptoFace. He's the one that made this indicator. But, and by the way, if you guys want to sign up, you can check the link in the description down below. But this little blue wave, this light blue wave crossing over into our gray wave here is typically what will print a dot. I believe this is actually what prints the dot. But if you're, in my opinion, if you're asking what I look at to anticipate a red or green dot incoming, I look at the VWAP, right? Because you can see here, any VWAP crossover, you can see the VWAP crosses over into the red, crosses over the zero line here to the downside, red dot. VWAP crosses over the zero line to the upside, green dot. Downside, red dot. Upside, green dot. Downside, red dot. So simply put, right, and if I go into bar replay mode, you can literally see this in real time. Right, so if I'm looking for a green dot to print, I'm waiting for that white wave to cross over the zero line. As soon as it crosses over, boom, crossed over, you got the green dot. Now we're looking for a red dot. Boom, VWAP crosses over the zero line. There's your red dot, right? Curving back up. Once this crosses that zero line, boom, there's your green dot. So there you go, fitness first mindset. Hopefully that helps you out, brother. Shout out to Dave Digital. I didn't even, shout out to Dave. I'm from Baytown, Sikistan. Shout out to Dave Digital. But anyway, guys, that is what I'm looking at on the charts. I am running out of time here. I do have to hop out of here. But we will cover some extra altcoins on tomorrow's stream to make up for it. And we'll be doing our giveaways tomorrow as well. And shout out to Creighton C for one last super chat. He says, real quick, on BTC, check the April 21st, 2021 VWAP and money flow and the current 2-day VWAP and money flow. Just a thought. Shout out to Creighton C. I love this, bro. Creighton C be neck deep in the charts. I absolutely love it. Let's see. All right, so let's see. April 2021. On the 2-day, he said April 2021. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let's see. So 2021. Bada boom. April 2021 VWAP and money flow. What do you say? April 21st, 2021. Right about here. Shout out to Creighton C. I believe this is the one he's talking about. Where is it? 21? Yeah, so I guess you're talking about this crossover right here, Creighton, if I'm not mistaken, if this is what you're looking at. And what happened here, right? What would you anticipate here? This is actually kind of similar to what we're seeing. Creighton, let me know if this is what you're talking about. But what are you anticipating here, right? You have money flow coming out on the daily. This is very similar to what's going on right now, right? You're ranging around. Right now, we're in a different part of the market, right? Like I wouldn't say we're here yet in the market, but as far as price action, right? You're ranging around in a higher time frame range. Money flow is coming to the downside, and what would this make you anticipate? This would anticipate a downtrend incoming, right? Because the money flow indicates the longer term trend. So, what happens, right? Right here, if you go into bar replay mode, like let's just go into bar replay because I think this is like the best way to look at this. So let's go. Bada boom, right? So you're looking at this. Let me reload that range. Come on, TradingView. You can do it. Okay, maybe you can't. All right, well, we can't look at the, come on. Do something here. Come on. No? Okay, well, we can't look at the volume profile. Maybe not on the 2-day. Maybe it'll work on the daily. Well, either way, what would you look for here? Let me pull a fresh one. What would you be looking for here? Come on. What is going on with this thing? What if I change it to ticks per row? Will that work? No. All right. Well, let me go ahead and let me go out of bar replay mode. Let me mark out the range manually like a caveman. Okay. Let me mark this out real quick. You have your value area high, you have your POC, and you have your value area low. Right? So what would you be anticipating? Let's go back into bar replay mode, come back over here, right? And now we have the volume profile, which we don't need the actual volume profile anymore because it just doesn't work. But let's go ahead. Whoops. Pull that rectangle. Bada boom, bada bing. There you go, right? So this is your volume profile. And what would you be anticipating here? Simply put, you're ranging around sideways. Money flow is trending to the downside here, at least on the daily and the 2-day. So what would you expect? Well, let's play it through, right? So you're ranging around. What are you expecting here? Right? This is important, guys. If you are learning to trade or you want to learn technical analysis, this is important, right? So what are you anticipating here? Right? This is almost the exact situation we're in. Price comes down, we start to slip the range, money flows coming out, but there's a green dot printing. This is where a lot of people would say, "What happened? I thought we were bearish and now we're pumping." Macro outlook, longer term outlooks here. What would I be anticipating here? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Would this be an anticipated pump to the upside? Or would it rather be, I know it's kind of obvious because we're in bar replay mode and we all know what happened here, but, or would we more likely anticipate a lackluster bounce to the upside to put in a lower high on some very specific levels, maybe the POC, maybe the value area high, or maybe even some Fibonacci retracement levels. You guys know golden pocket 786 are those likely levels to put lower highs on. But that's simply what we'd anticipate. Money flow comes out indicating if we think money flow is coming out and that downtrend is likely to continue to the downside, right? Downtrend continuing to the downside. Who knew? But it doesn't mean that you can't get bounces. But in the long term, you would anticipate a lower high to come in at the golden pocket or maybe even the 786 to break the lows and continue the downtrend. And simply put, we pumped up. Did you reject this POC perfectly? Did you go to the 786? No. You come up, you put, this is the zone. This is literally the zone, no matter what time frame we're looking at, scalps, swings, anything. This purple box. 786 golden pocket is the likely place to put that lower high in on, right? And we also know it's the POC of the range as well. So this is what I mean, right? Now let's go to our current price action. Maybe, shout out to Creighton C, bro. If we're ever looking for a student teacher, bro, I might have you come in here because I think this is, I think this is actually very, I'm really happy that you brought this up. So let's get rid of this stuff. Now what are we looking at, right? Does this not, shout out to Creighton C. Yeah, he said lower high. He's probably answering me when I said what's more likely. Shout out to Creighton. I missed your chat, brother. Hopefully I'm looking at the right thing. If it's not the right thing, thank you for saying that anyway, because this is a beautiful teaching moment, right? What are we seeing here? How similar is this, right? Money flow coming out on the daily. We've slipped the volume profile, and we're about to print the green dot. You can't make this up, right? Green dot's about to print. So this does mean that we could potentially get a continued move up here. And you might think, like, Frankie, if money flow's bearish, why are we bouncing now today? And it's funny because I see this happen to tons of people. Like any YouTuber or influencer that talks about the charts, they have to have like people who don't, like new people, right? I'm not being derogatory calling people noobs. It's just a fact of the matter. I was a noob too, right? But like they have to deal with people being like, you said it was bearish yesterday and now it's pumping. When that's not how it works, right? It's all about context. Money flow is bearish, but tomorrow if we pump, people will be like, what happened? I thought money flow was bearish. If it's still bearish, it's still bearish. It doesn't mean you can't bounce. So what are we looking at here? That green dot prints. We get a push to the golden pocket, which is funny enough, already the place where we're looking for the lower high, right? Consistent with what we looked at back there. Could the lower high come in here or here? In my opinion, that's likely because literally that was a perfect example. Same thing. Money flow was coming out. We were in that volume profile. POC sitting right here. Golden pocket was right on the POC. Beautiful confluence. If I were trading this live, this would literally be where I'd look for the lower high. Here as well as the value area high 786, right? These would be the two levels I'd be looking at for a lower high. And again, one more time for the people in the back. Money flow indicates the longer term trend. So that's why you're not expecting this green dot on the daily to rip you up to $1 million, right? Now, a lot of people probably got wrecked shorting this low here. This is why I do not short at the value area low. This is why I'm not like giga short right now. So we get a pump up. I would rather short a likely lower high to come in at the POC golden pocket. This is like literally shout out to Creighton C, bro. Like that could not have been more of a perfect example, bro. So shout out to Creighton C. But are we going to see something like this happen? Here's another thing to realize, guys. Simply put, this was a different place in the market, right? Like we had massive new all-time highs on Bitcoin. This is like we are not necessarily, in my opinion, we're not necessarily in a situation like this yet, right? This was a little bit later in the cycle. Now, is this cycle going to repeat exactly as it did in the past? Who knows? But I will say, right, like we're a little earlier in the cycle here. Maybe that's why I'm open to a fake out on money flow, right? Like look right here. We got a big dump of about 18%, right? And look at money flow, right? Money flow is bing-bonging around. We kind of got a little bounce. Money flow is coming out. And what happened? We just got a fake out and a bigger move to the upside. But this was much earlier in the cycle than it was up here. Arguably, we are more early in the cycle than which in my opinion is literally why I'm looking for a potential fake out on money flow. That's why I'm open to the bullish case, right? It's kind of complicated, right? Like you have to take the cycle analysis into account while also looking at the TA. But do you guys understand? Hit me with a hashtag value in the chat if you understand this general idea that I'm explaining, right? You're ranging around. Money flow indicates the longer-term trend will go down, but we could get a short-term bounce for a lackluster move, a lower high, and a bigger move down. And the reason why we're also looking at the bullish case and not just the bearish case right now is because arguably we are earlier in the market, which would be a more likely fake out on money flow. I try to make this as simple as possible. And I don't know if I'm explaining this well. Hopefully, okay, we got a bunch of hashtag values in the chat. This is good. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Martin. That would have a very, very big effect as well. Let's see. Shout out to Wick 589. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, okay. So hopefully you guys understand that. And this is why I have more of a neutral stance right now. But rest assured, I am set up to succeed in either situation, right? Well, not right this second, but I am holding my longs from lower. So if we get the move up and we get that fake out because we're early in the market or we're early in the cycle and this is likely to fake out into the green, I am simply going to profit off my swing longs. However, on the way up, you better believe I'm going to be taking stabs at these lower highs potentially to catch a bigger short position. And the beauty of trading is you could take these trades, right? I don't need this to play out. Right? If we get the push up, I'm profiting on the longs, right? And if I take a stab at a short here and I get stopped out for a small loss, my longs are still playing out, right? So this is how you can hedge your bets. And then if we get the bigger move down, then we are set up and we were short from the middle of the range. So there you go. That's what I would be looking at on Bitcoin, guys. And hopefully, shout out to Creighton C. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because we are in a very similar situation as we were in April of 2021, in my opinion. Not cycle-wise, but analysis-wise and market cipher-wise and price action-wise, very, very, very similar. So with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for sticking around till the end. Smash that like button if you have not already. How many likes did we get? Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. 319. Let's run it up to 550 likes, guys. If we hit 550 likes before the end of the stream, or before we actually end the waiting room, I will add a $100 XRP giveaway to tomorrow's already pretty decent crypto giveaways. So with all that being said, guys, I'll see you here. Sorry for the short stream. Hashtag life. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Smash that like button. Hasta pasta. Pray for Bitcoin. Could pump, could dump. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Space time for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Breaking news from Wick 589. Wick 589 says XRP is going to launch tomorrow for my birthday because XRP is my friend and friends are always there for each other. Right? XRP? Shout out to Wick 589. Don't put Wick said it, not me. But hey, Wick, I think friends are always there for each other. And if XRP is a real friend to you, it'll pump tomorrow. Shout out to Wick. Happy birthday, bro. My birthday's coming up too. Not this weekend, next weekend. Shout out to Wick. Happy birthday, bro. I'll see you guys next time. Hasta pasta. Frank Candles out. Bing bong. Let's go.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor.